Wow, check this out. This is it. Yeah, some of you probably know who this guy is. Yeah, Mr. Brandon Tatum. Yep, this guy is an officer. This is the same guy, ladies and gentlemen, that has gone around and saying Black Lives Matter organization is a terrorist, is a domestic terroristic group, which is absolutely absolute bullshit. This is a guy that defends bad cops' behavior and praises cops like there. And he thinks, this is the same guy that thinks we should abolish and make public photography, especially filming the cops and the public officials on their duty, illegal, make it a crime. Yeah, this guy right here. Yeah, this is the same guy that goes around and says, "Oh, we should appreciate all police officers." You know, this guy's like a finding freedom bench warmer, saying all cops are good cops. Yeah, as well. I heard this dumbass was doubly down in stupidness and pray and say those 5, 6 cops that killed Tari Nichols shouldn't be charged. Yeah, I'll find that story another time. But what brings me to this story? This right here. It points. According to this guy, according to Mr. Brandon Tatum, says Uvalde cops are not cowards but heroes. Watch Officer Brandon Tatum triple down. This is coming from Here's the Deal channel. I'm just gonna play pretty much the audio. We're just gonna let it roll. I'll stop it or get my perspective as we digest it. Let's break it down a little bit, shall we?
Get your freaking facts straight. Go F yourself. If you calling people cowards and you don't know to go F yourself, delete my channel. Unsubscribe. If you calling people cowards and you don't know what happened, get off my page.
Yeah. Wow.
Boot muncher, Brandon soften him up.
He is a boot muncher.
I want you to unsubscribe from him if you have the audacity to factually articulate that the law enforcement agents in Uvalde, Texas were cowards.
If you calling people cowards and you don't know what happened, get off my page. You think I care? I do not care. Unsubscribe. Go F yourself. I could care less. You think you hurt my feelings because I'm gonna unsubscribe. Were you there? No, I wasn't there. I just did. Do you know anybody that was there? Can you verify or disagree with what I said?
Well, I would tell Mr. Brandon Tatum, I said, where the fuck were you when the shit was going down in Uvalde? Were you there? Fuck no. So shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. Those cops did nothing. They sat there. They stood around for an hour. Those fucking cops in Uvalde were threatening to arrest fucking parents. Babies, little children dying. Parents will go and save their fucking babies. And you back those fucking cops that were arresting, threatening to arrest parents and like that. They did nothing, and the fucking chief got scrutinized. He got castrated, and people were telling him, "Motherfucker needs to go. He needs to be fired," like that. And he wants to praise the Uvalde cop. He's a tyrannical bootlicker. He was wearing a fucking boot on his fucking damn head.
Said on this chart. Oh no, I don't know. It's my feeling. Your feelings don't matter. Do me a favor. Unsubscribe. And you don't need to announce on your way out. Just let the dough hit you behind. And I guarantee you there's not a single person that's saying, I'm gonna unsubscribe like I care. I'm gonna unsubscribe to you that have ever put on that uniform. Not one. Unsubscribe, please. How many of y'all please, make my day. Make my day. Unsubscribe. Please unsubscribe. I am welcoming you. I'm gonna throw a party of all you cowards that don't know what you're talking about, but you the first ones to have something to say. And thank y'all for the people who unsubscribe. I really appreciate it. Please unsubscribe. You'll make my day. Please unsubscribe. Yeah, you'll make my freaking day. And thank y'all for unsubscribing. I appreciate you. If you ask me, I'm the fairest person on the internet with Uvalde. I'm the fairest one.
No, he's not. He's not even fair about anything. He calls this fucking dumbass douchebag Canoe calls Black Lives Matter terrorists. He says he puts them in the same group. He puts them in the same group as Antifa and Proud Boys and right-wingers. Wow. Black Lives Matter was made. It was out there. People started putting Black Lives Matter like flags and whatnot. It started when George Floyd and Breonna Taylor were killed by the fucking cops. He did. There was.
And nobody should be able to, disagree with me unless you just want to disagree for the sake of disagreeing.
What you're about to see is a distillation of 2 of Brandon Tatum's videos where he's commenting on the police response to the Uvalde shooting. And it's important to note that the shooting took place on May 24th, 2022.
Yes.
Tatum's first video, which is almost 40 minutes long, entitled Truth About Uvalde Police Response, was uploaded on May 27th, 3 days after the Uvalde incident. The second video, which was almost an hour and a half long, entitled Uvalde Update, I Was Wrong, where he tells everybody he was right about everything, was uploaded on July 13th, almost 6 weeks after the incident. Now, this is important because after pretty much all the reporting was in, Tatum's stance didn't change. He continues to insist that the cops who descended on Uvalde were not cowards. They may have taken some tactical missteps, he says, but according to Tatum, they were not cowards. I've gone through both of these videos with a fine-tooth comb and managed to distill over 2 hours of content down to a couple minutes. But I'm going to break it down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're breaking it down. Yeah, we're going to break it down with, here's the deal. But the reason why I stopped this video, I'm bringing this up because his video, Mr. Tatum's video that he did was like about was I wrong about the Uvalde. I'll bring this up because the ratio of his thumbs up and thumbs down is astonishing. His thumbs up was a little over $10,000. His thumb down ratio, 17,000 plus. That tells you that there are a lot of people can't stand this fucking Mr. Tatum. Yeah, Officer Tatum, shit like that. Yeah. Hey, people think this guy is a classist jackass.
In 2 videos. This video right here deals with his commentary from 3 days after the incident. That's the May 27th video that he uploaded. And we'll just let Brandon do the talking.
Yeah.
And this is very important to watch because while it's clear to the average person that these cops on the scene were absolutely cowards, Tatum is so stuck in the land of tyranny that he can't bring himself to the table of common sense and morality.
No, he won't bring himself common sense and morality because he's a fucking officer. I mean, he's going to praise the cops out there. Just like he was sitting there saying that those 6 officers that beat the crap out of Tyree Nichols, he was sitting there saying, oh, those officers should have never been charged. They shouldn't be charged. They shouldn't be facing murder to charges like that. Like, wow. They beat the crap out of an unarmed man. I mean, for what? Then the Memphis cops, they were taking pictures of Mr. Tatum, Mr. Nichols really beat up and distributing around. And a couple of cops have a history of domestic violence and abusing of power. And that chief is not innocent here. C.J. Brown, the Memphis chief, no. Yeah, Mr. Tatum doesn't understand was those Uvalde cops did nothing for 40 fucking minutes. Absolutely nothing. The only thing they did was, well, we're going to wait for, I think they're going to wait for, I forget what they were waiting for, but they were waiting for something. I think SWAT or FBI. But then they have the audacity to threaten to arrest parents. Parents like, well, fuck it, you can't do nothing. I'm going to save my baby. I'm going to save my daughter. I'm going to go save my son. Parents who are getting threatened to be arrested, of all things. While the Uvalde cops had their thumbs out their fucking ass doing nothing. Stroking each other's fucking little frat ego and then probably small little dicks while eating donuts.
I want to debunk a few myths that are out there. First and foremost, the officers stood around and didn't do nothing for 40 minutes. That is a lie. That did not happen. Now,
yes, it
originally,
did.
People were saying cops just stood outside and did nothing. That's not true. There was multiple officers. I think they said like 9 officers or so from Uvalde PD, other surrounding.
He's dead wrong on that. The cops didn't go in there for 40 fucking minutes. That person that was shooting the kids, I mean, fuck, there were kids in there barricading and stuff like that. There were kids in there that were facing life and death. Gunman goes up to there and says, you ready to die today? Telling many of the children like that. 19 children, 2 teachers lost their lives into that Uvalde shooting as well. And he said, what, say they're heroes? Oh, they went. No, they didn't. They did fucking nothing. All they did was trying to threaten to arrest parents. Why the fuck do you think the parents ran in there to go save their child? Because the cops were doing nothing. Mr. Tatum is lying, not doubling. He's tripling down and stupidness and fuckery.
Surrounding agencies, local agencies showed up and they forced entry into this school, or they followed in after him in this open doorway and followed him into this classroom where they believed he went. They were unable to get into the classrooms because they were locked. He began to shoot them from the classroom, and a few of the officers got hit, got grazed. They had to egress outside, and they were unable to advance on him in this classroom. And he had shot over 100 rounds into this room. The police had not been able to respond yet. I just think people need to stop jumping to conclusion and calling these officers cowards. You have no information to dictate that these officers were cowards. A disagreement with tactics is different than being cowardice. He was barricaded in this room. They could not gain access. Now, I have a visceral reaction thinking about these kids losing their lives and people calling them cowards. You don't know what the F you are talking about because you wasn't there. And for everybody that's sitting here saying...
Neither you, motherfucker. You weren't there. Where the fuck were you? You probably watching the news. You weren't there as the officers. Parents were risking the risk of lives to go save the fucking babies. So shut the fuck up, you coward fucking nugga. You ain't nothing. Yeah, you ain't. As a matter of fact, this guy ain't a black man. And the only color that this motherfucker sees is blue. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, blue. That's what the color of the uniform officers wear.
That these guys were cowards. You didn't know that they pursued him. You didn't know that they went after him. Cowardice is sitting out here doing nothing. When they
did nothing? Yeah, they did nothing like that. If they were to do something, they could have probably saved fucking many lives. Maybe one or two instead of fucking 19 kids dying, motherfucker. So yeah, you might want to do a double reverse projection LARP there. Yeah, and look at the statistics, the facts, dumbass. Instead of fuck yeah, he's just doubling down, triple down to cover the bases and say, hey, these officers are great. Just like he's sitting there saying, oh, those 6 Memphis cops, they should have been charged. No way at all. It's unfortunate a young man died, but hey, it is what it is.
Arrived on the scene, they pursued him and they took rounds. They rescued all the kids out of these other classrooms. Some people who
took them an hour to do that.
Who never put on a uniform a day in their life are calling somebody cowards, and you weren't there. I know people that were
you
there.
weren't there.
And it makes me upset because people are talking about stuff and they have no idea what they're saying.
You know what's funny was this motherfucker, he don't care about the kids. He said he probably wanted, oh, it's unfortunate. He wants to care, all he cares about the cops are wearing blues like that, call them heroes like that. 19 kids fucking, you don't give a shit about the kids, Mr. fucking Tatum. You don't care about your brothers, your fellow commies, and blue.
You have never been in a situation like this before. You have never been in a tactical situation. You've never been in a situation where, and it pisses me off, that people are acting like these officers are cowards when they had to step over dead kids to rescue other kids out of these classrooms. The visual...
It took them an hour going into that rescue the rest of the kids.
I think they were mostly men, have to live with for the rest of their lives or something your cowardice self would never see. You calling people cowards and you weren't there. Many of you guys don't even know what happened. It makes me so mad because you're making it about the officers. You're crapping on the officers. We should be talking about this boy going and killing all these people for no reason. What about the teacher that left the doggone door open after he crashed? Calling these officers cowards. You ain't never put a uniform on. You ain't never been in a life and death situation and you calling somebody a coward. You don't even know the facts. You weren't there. You don't know anybody there. You looked at a clip that somebody cut of some parents being upset, but to sit and say that these officers didn't do nothing.
Gee, that's one of the clips I saw weren't cut and edited up.
I know people that were there, and I know the trauma that they had to go through looking at those kids.
Really?
You weren't there. You don't have to live with this.
You weren't there.
You wouldn't have showed up even if you were on the scene. You wouldn't have done a goddamn thing.
Neither are you. You probably would have done nothing, Mr. Tan. You probably stay on your fucking ass eating donuts and fucking sipping fucking Gatorade with your fellow comrades in blue. Letting fucking children die. You don't give a shit. All you care is about the other cops and officers. You want to praise them a hero? They weren't fucking heroes. They weren't heroes at all. Fucking cowards. Sit for 40 fucking minutes, did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Parents were sitting there saying, well, I'm going in to save my child. And the cops were there threatening to arrest the parent. What the fuck is that? What does that tell you? Huh? What does that tell you?
Up and did all that they could to save those kids. Kids were not sitting there and they were just getting executed and the cops were just sitting there twiddling their thumbs. If you
really? That fucking gunman was going up to get every child before pulling the trigger and say, you ready to die, little boy? You ready to die, little girl? Huh? Well, here it comes. Yeah. And you had some of the children in there barricading behind a desk, behind a door to protect their classmates, protect their fellow friends out there. Teachers were putting their lives on the line, even ready to die to save the fucking children. You didn't know that, dumbass?
Don't know what happened, don't talk about it. I waited till I had the information to talk about this.
Oh, yeah, sure you did.
They'll never be able to unsee this stuff. You could sit on your couch, eating your potato chips, never participating in anything, never saving a single life. Don't even put on a uniform because you're too much of a coward to put on a uniform, and you're going to talk about these men with no information. and they could not save them because before they got there, he had let off 100 rounds into these classrooms. And you can talk now, but you were not.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, you get a fucking police officer Yeah, you got police officers with machine guns. They got fucking, they got bulletproof, and you're telling, yeah, he's like, who around that? You mean to tell me those you mean to tell me those cops, we're gonna go like that, being a hero like that? Those cops were fucking afraid of an AR-15. Get the fuck out of here. If you're an officer and you're afraid of a fucking like that, you got life vests on there. You got life vests on there. Life vests on there. They did nothing because in their mind they were afraid of a fucking assault rifle.
Not there. You weren't there. Makes me
Neither
so
was
doggone
you.
mad.
Neither was you.
Until I heard from the police and I heard from my birdies.
Oh yeah, birdies! Your fellow boys of blue. Your birdies, your fellow comrades of blue.
People. They got a police department of 6 people. How you gonna say what you gonna do? You ain't never been in a situation like this.
6 people and not one did a goddamn fucking thing. All 6 sat out there over 40 minutes, letting children die because they were afraid of a fucking AR-15.
I would have did this. You would lie. If somebody will slap a woman in front of some of y'all and you won't even call the police. You will take your phone out like a punk and be video. God, that makes me so mad. You're making this tragedy about the police officers talking about them. What about these kids? Calling them cowards. They getting shot at the door. It just boils my brain. Some of these people say, well, they should have ran in. Where you gonna run to? You gonna run in here and do what? You can't shoot through a door. And if the cops would have just started blindly shooting in here and shooting through the windows and shot and killed some of those kids, because they don't know if the kids are alive, they don't know how many kids are in there. They shoot some of the kids, y'all be on here talking about them now. Just ignorant. They can't shoot blindly into this room. It's not like they were sitting here and shots were going off and they just sitting here, twiddling their thumbs. They got shot at, ladies and gentlemen. They had the egress. There were sporadic shots being fired between the time that they showed up and got into this initial shooting with him and when Vortex showed up, which I would imagine that he had already killed all the kids in there before they ever even got here. They could not get into these doors. And when they tried to, which they did, while getting shot at, they couldn't open the door because it was locked from the inside. You want them to be some type of superhero that they can go through walls? They couldn't get through these doors without a breaching tool. He had locked himself in here. And every time they approached the door, he would shoot at them. What's the point of you running up here trying to open the door and you can't open it? And you're supposed to just get shot.
Well, get shot? No. Police officers that have bulletproof vests. You can't open the door, break the fucker down. You got police officers, they have ramming things. You can shove it down, break the glass. Yeah, bolt it down. Fuck.
And lay down in the hallway and be another victim. You lay down in the hallway after getting shot to death, and you have no way of getting through this door unless you have a breaching tool or you have the key to the door. But some of y'all, they should have ran in here and did what? They were able to get the kids out of these other classrooms. They had no way of getting in there. I'm going to stand up for what's right. These cops wouldn't have any problem with conducting a no-knock raid to destroy the lives of... See, these people... How do you make a comparison between a no-knock warrant? How do you make a comparison? I can't believe as many stupid people as I see. The same cowards that have never put on a... You don't know what a no-knock raid is. You don't know what's involved in a no-knock raid. And I'm not going to say this because...
Yeah, you know what? Motherfuckers in Houston they're trying to abolish and ban the no-knock raid. What the fuck do you think happened to Tuttles in Houston? News that Houston was covering that shit and trying to call out that chief, that Joe, whatever, like I forget what his last name. It started with an S, yeah. Innocent families were getting fucking killed over no-knock raids. Like the Tuttles. A simple, innocent family fucking executed and killed over a fucking bullshit no-knock raid. And I covered another story a couple of months ago about a no-knock raid, about a corrupt cop pinning crimes on innocent people.
I'm not a child
in Harrison County.
But let your family member be in a situation and you tell me, do you want them to knock or not? Let somebody be on the computer with your baby pictures on there. You want them to knock on the door or not? You calling people cowards and you wasn't there, you don't know what's going on. You have no idea what I'm talking about. You never heard none of this stuff here. But they're cowards. Don't you call the police no more. Don't call the police. Don't call the police. Just irritates me. Please, do me a favor. Unsub. Thank you. Thank you. Who else? Who's next? Who's next? Same people. Defund the police. Defund the police. They don't need to be militarized. And then when they don't have the equipment to fight against a dude like this, now you blame the police. The militarization of the police, they shouldn't be walking around with body armor and all it. Okay. Then they don't have the equipment necessary. And then
yeah, you know what people call for defunding police? Because when you get fucking bad cops out there shooting innocent people, yeah, civilians, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. Yeah, the Amber Dean who shot that innocent black woman. The list goes on and on. I just did a story about a young man who got shot 30 times from his grandma. Because he said, oh, he had a gun. Yeah, but he had an open carry permit to carry that gun 30 times. And the young man is alive. It's amazing me. You got cops that chill out there because somebody holding a knife or a machete. Not wielding at them, just holding it. It's crazy and astonishing out there. Yeah, defund the police. Yeah. What happened to Tyree Nichols? Yeah. They beat the crap out of him, huh? Yeah. That's why people are, because people don't fucking trust the police. It's like the old saying is, when you call 911, you call for a cop. What are you calling for? You're calling for a gun. You're calling for a gun on the situation.
And then you're mad at them. Yeah, I mean, people are nuts, man. Just know you don't know what you're talking about. Just admit it, man. Just admit it. 40 minutes for no backup. I don't know how much I gotta explain this. Some of y'all still stupid. No matter how much backup, no matter how much I say that 40 minutes they weren't just sitting there, they were evacuating kids out of these classrooms. You still 40 minutes.
The next video that Tatum uploads 6 weeks after the Uvalde incident shows you just what kind of complacent bootlicker Tatum actually is. You'll see that he maintains his position that these cops are not cowards, that he's right, and that everybody else can just pound sand. Because he's going to maintain his massive following no matter how much garbage he spews. And no matter how much tyranny and cowardice he's willing to accept. When I upload that video, I'll post the link in the description and in the pinned comment. If the comment disappears, like a lot of my comments do, make sure you look in the description. You'll definitely want to see that video. So leave your thoughts about Brandon Tatum's thoughts in the comments section below.
Oh, yeah.
It really helps with the algorithm. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to
Yeah, suspicion, a felony, or misdemeanor. A free press
the
matters.
channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with the
Since we're defending everything, this is a cordless hole puncher.
everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my
Suspicious, yeah.
private
Say, but
email list through my website.
It's suspicious, a felony, or misdemeanor. Yeah.
High impact.
Yeah, what counts as being suspicious, huh? Walking down the street and maybe clothes, the way you act, the way you conduct yourself, if you're on your phone, or you're taking picture recording, oh, is that suspicious?
.com.
Or like walking in the street at 2 o'clock in the morning, is that being suspicious? Elements defined, AKAR.
Those links are working now. Thanks to all those who informed me that they weren't working. If you want to
Keep calm or turn the fire.
support the channel, grab a hard-hitting conversation.
Yeah. Protecting and serving the crap out of you. That's what the cops do, yeah? When they're beating the crap out of you. And look at that. Look at that. Gee, what's that kind of remind you of? Tyree Nichols. Anyways, I'm out here. My job. Peace out. Much love, prayers, and blessing, all that good stuff.